Hi, I'm Matt Schron. I lead product management here at Livefront, and today we are going to walk through the second of our 7 installments or lessons for bringing your first mobile app into the world. We're calling this series 0 to 1 with mobile, lessons for bringing your first mobile product to market. Today's lesson is relentlessly ask yourself, why should this product exist? And when you're bringing a brand new mobile app to market for the very first time, this question of why should our product exist can be an uncomfortable one. So much so that many organizations just flatly look past it. But the answer to this question, ultimately making a statement about why the world needs our product, is absolutely essential to the ultimate success of the product. So if we look at some possible reasons of why should we build a mobile app, and don't get me wrong, there are many really great reasons that are out there. Maybe you have mobile specific use cases. We want to reach our customers when they're at our physical location or at our store, and naturally mobile is the most effective way to do that. Maybe it's more explicit. We have customers that are asking us for a mobile app. Maybe you've done research to suggest that if you had a mobile offering, you could capture incremental sales. Maybe you have a use case that just requires native mobile capabilities. These amazing devices that are in everybody's pockets have a lot of features that are just not available in a desktop experience, and sometimes you need to be on a mobile form factor in order to really take advantage of that. For instance, camera access, precise location access, wallet. All of these are great reasons to have a mobile app. Maybe you believe that you can extend your brand loyalty with mobile. It's well known that people engage with mobile apps more frequently than oftentimes their web counterparts, and by having a really compelling mobile experience, you can just increase the depth and frequency of your brand's touch points with your customers. So now let's look at some anti-patterns or potentially bad reasons why you might justify building a mobile app. The first one is other brands have mobile apps. Now, this isn't to dismiss competitive forces, but if your justification for building a mobile app is solely because other companies in your peer space have one, that's probably not the strongest rationale for making the investment in a brand new mobile app. Another one is we want to send push notifications. A lot of times, companies become really mesmerized with some of the mobile specific capabilities, and they lean on that as the justification to build a new mobile app without fully thinking through the use cases in which those capabilities might be leveraged. And while sending push notifications may serve an internal purpose of marketing reach, it may not actually provide value for users. The third one, our CEO thinks mobile apps are cool. We've definitely seen this before, and don't get me wrong, we love it when CEOs are enthusiastic about mobile. But just the fact that your CEO thinks mobile apps are cool is not often enough of a justification to make that investment in building a brand new mobile app. So really what we're ultimately trying to do here is answer the question, why does the world need this app? And that existential nature of the question makes it understandable why it's not the most comfortable question to answer, but as we contend, it really is the most important one. So thinking about how we break down this question of why, it starts with that outside view, and this gets back to the earlier theme from talk number 1 about leaving the building, but being in touch with the outside world and what are consumer and user expectations. Also looking inward and really taking an assessment of what are the strengths of our organization, what are our core competencies and how might those be leveraged into a product that we can build and offer to the market. And then doing that really in-depth and at times uncomfortable synthesis work to really figure out, why does the world need our product? What do we aspire to do with it? What is that vision for the future? And then, what are the strategies? What are the tactics? What are the themes that are going to help us get from where we are right now to ultimately where we want to be with this product? A framework that we found a lot of success with in breaking down this process is the North Star. And it really starts with a firm understanding of what creates value for the users that we're trying to serve. Then taking that internal view and what matters for our business, what creates value internally, and then finding those overlapping areas. And therein, in that space that overlaps between where user value is created and where business value created, oftentimes is that area where we find the true North Star for the product. The very best North Stars are measurable and take the form of a metric that encapsulates why our product exists and what it aims to do in the world. The best North Stars are finite. They define the specific action or moment when the product fulfills its promise to the user. A great North Star metric is predictive. It's a leading indicator of business success, not a lagging indicator. As you might expect, there's a lot of fixation on revenue. And revenue is important, it's meaningful, it matters. But revenue is a lagging indicator. What we're really looking for with a North Star metric is, what are the set of interactions that predict revenue? And then how can we really maximize the design of our product for that? A great North Star metric is representative. It captures the essence of your product. It's not a generic vanity metric like MAUs or average star ratings. The best North Stars are really specific and tailored to each individual product and represents where that product in its own way creates value for users. So, a well-formed North Star metric serves three purposes. It provides clarity and alignment on what the product team should be optimizing for and what those trade-offs are. It communicates the product's impact and progress to the rest of the company. And thirdly, it holds the product team accountable to an outcome that drives user and business success. And so this concept might be sounding a little bit abstract at this point, but let's look at a real world example. Let's take, for example, Spotify. So, and hypothetically, let's say the North Star metric for Spotify is maximizing time spent listening to music. Now, there's lots of different ways that the Spotify app could try to advance this goal of maximizing listening time. If we look at it and break it down by different dimensions, there's the idea of breadth, depth, frequency, and efficiency. So starting with breadth, the number of new users, the raw volume of how many people are interacting with our product on a regular basis. Secondly, we have depth. Of those users we do have, how long do they spend engaging with our product? Or in the case of Spotify, how long do they spend listening to music? We have frequency. What is the distribution of the interactions that users have with our product? Or in other words, how many times per day, per week, per month do they come back and engage with our product on average? And then finally, efficiency. The percentage of the time in the app that the user is actually taking the key set of actions that ultimately drive our success. So again, in the case of Spotify, are users spending more time managing their account or searching for music, or are they spending most of their time actually listening to music? If our North Star is maximizing time spent listening to music, well, then that becomes really actionable for design decisions that we make elsewhere in the app. So once we have a firm understanding of how our North Star can be impacted by these different dimensions, working backwards, it really illuminates all sorts of different tactics and different features that we can use to achieve those ends. So the big idea here is start with a clear definition of what matters for your product, then work backwards towards the features that are going to help you get there. So the big idea behind the North Star is to use it as a tool to help you really form a clear statement about why does our product need to exist, what really matters in measuring its success, and then letting that inform what features we need to build by working backwards from there. We'll talk more about features in our next installment, but let's leave things here for now with our second lesson of relentlessly ask yourself, why does the world need this product?